We end today's show with the new Oscar-nominated film Io Capitano, which follows young Senegalese migrants on their journey from West Africa to Italy. This is the trailer.
We want to go to Europe. Stop counting.
Think about your becoming a big star. White people will be asking for your autographs.
Mom, I have to tell you something.
You have to stay here and breathe the same air as me.
Shut up! Have you lost your mind? The guide is leaving. If we lose him, we'll die in the desert for sure.
We're in Libya. Give us your money or it's jail.
I'm scared I won't see my mom again. I want to see her to ask her to forgive me.
If you pilot the boat, you can both leave for the price of one.
I've never done that. I don't even know how to swim. You want to let us die here, in the middle of the sea.
That's the trailer for Io Capitano, which is up for an Oscar for Best Foreign Film. We're joined now by the film's award-winning director, Matteo Garrone, as well as Mamadou Kouassi, whose journey as an African migrant to Europe is the basis for Io Capitano. Welcome to you both to Democracy Now! Matteo Garrone, congratulations on this absolutely beautiful film. If you could begin by explaining the inspiration for the film and your decision to tell this story of migrants from the perspective of the migrants themselves, rather than from the perspective of a European country receiving them, which is what films on migrants have all done, so far as I know.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for inviting us. And we decide to tell this story, starting from the idea to make a sort of reverse shot. So to put the camera instead than as we usually see on the news from our point of view. We are habit and used to, in Europe, in Italy, to see only the last part of the journey, when the boat arriving in Sicily and when they succeed to arrive in Sicily, because as we know, in the last 15 years, 27,000 people have died making this journey. So we are used to see always this ritual count of numbers, you know, people alive, how many people are alive, how many people are dead. And with time, we get used that are just number. So we wanted to try to humanize this number. We wanted to try to give to the audience the possibility to live the experience of the journey from the point of view of them. So finally, to give visual form to a part of the journey that we don't see. That's what pushed us to make this movie. And making this movie, for me, that I'm Italian, was crucial and fundamental to do it with them. So I've been a sort of intermediator. I work since the beginning on the script with the people that for real made this journey, and also on the set, also on the trailer that you have seen, all the extra that are behind the actor are real migrants that made this journey. So on the set, they helped me to recreate this odyssey, because they are the carriers of the contemporary epic. So they recreate this modern odyssey with me, trying to be authentic, trying to be true, for the respect of the people that made this journey, for the respect of the people that died on this journey, and for the help of the people that will see this movie, especially in Africa, and maybe will be aware about the risk that is going through.
Let's go to another clip from this absolutely
yes, Mamadou.
Let's go to another clip from this epic film, Io Capitano. This is the star, Seydou, who's speaking with his cousin about thinking about leaving Senegal.
So when you said you wanted to leave, it wasn't a load of crap? You weren't serious. Look at me. You're scared.
It's not that.
Admit it.
Not at all.
Come on, say it. So what's the point?
Yes, I'm scared.
You see? Okay, Seydou, you don't want to do this anymore. 6 months we've been preparing. We did so much work to be able to go. And our dreams, I'm not going without you.
Me neither.
So now what? Europe is waiting for us. Think about you're becoming a big star. White people will be asking for your autographs. You'll go on stage like a real star. What do you think? Give me a smile. Smile.
So that's a clip from Io Capitano, and it takes you on this epic journey from Senegal through the desert, across the sea to Italy. Seydou is actually based on the life, though not Senegalese, from the Ivory Coast of Mamadou Kouassi, who is also in the studio. Mamadou, if you can talk about what it means to have put your journey into this film that is now nominated for an Oscar that will be seen around the world, why you left your country and took this perilous journey to Europe.
Yeah, as you have already seen, thank you very much for this invitation. And this film is talking about dream that me and my cousin, as we get access to the to know what is going on at the part of the world. For example, we were students. We learn a little bit about Europe. We studied in the books. We saw it in television. So we found that it is important to discover what has been seen to us in television, in the newspapers about Europe, that Europe is a country of human rights. So, and even at the same time, a country of dream, that there you can dream, you can achieve your dream. So me and my cousin, we walk and we decide to travel. But the only possibility to travel for us is to cross the desert, because for us it is difficult to get a visa to travel. So we took some information from some people, knowing that to get the visa is very difficult. Even to get the appointment in the embassy is sometimes more difficult. So we decided to afford the journey across the desert. And when we start the journey, we saw that we did a mistake. It's like a circle. As soon as you enter, it's difficult to go back. And we see that it was harder to cross the desert, because there you will see many people that are dying. Son, ladies, boys, people are dying. You will see the dead bodies, and you cannot even go back. You will discover the reality, the suffering of a human being. And it's not only on the desert. When you arrive in the transit countries like Libya, what you have seen on the movie is true reality. That we have been sold there like slaves. We have been tortured in the prison. People are dying in number. And people are obliged to take the inflatable boat also to cross the Mediterranean Sea. And there, at the same time, people are dying. So for us, this film has given us opportunity also to express ourselves, to bring this reality all over the world, because people are talking, but they don't know before that people entering in Europe, number of people died on the desert, in the Mediterranean Sea, in the prison. People are being sold. Till today, people are suffering in this part of the country. So this film is for us a big instrument to share this information to the world, to the huge public, to know what African people are suffering before they arrive in Europe. Io Capitano, I think, is the huge instrument to send this message to the world.
We continue with part 2 on the new film Io Capitano, which follows young Senegalese migrants on their journey from West Africa to Italy. The film is nominated for an Academy Award for Best Foreign Film. Let's go to a clip of the film when the main character, Seydou, has made it to Tripoli in Libya and is negotiating with a smuggler about getting a boat to Italy.
What's your name?
Seydou.
It's not even enough for one person.
That's all I have.
That's it? Here. Come back when you have enough.
Please help me. That's all I have, and my cousin is injured. We really have to leave.
How old are you?
16.
16?
Yes.
Do you think he can work? Listen, I have a solution. If you pilot the boat, you can both leave for the price of one.
The boat?
Yes.
I've never done that. I don't even know how to swim.
No problem. I'll show you. Very easy. In one day, you'll be in Italy.
In one day, we'll be in Italy?
Just one day. You just go straight ahead. And as you're a minor, if the police catch you, you don't risk much.
But it's not sure if they'll catch me.
No, when you see the police, stay away from the cabin. There won't be a problem.
It's easy?
Very easy. I don't have time. If you two want to leave, it's the only way. Or I'll find someone else.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
In this next scene, Seydou goes to his cousin and tells him that they're going to board a boat to Europe, the final stage of their perilous journey.
Hey. We're going.
Where?
Europe is waiting for us.
How?
We're leaving for Italy. There I can take you to the hospital and fix your leg. Then we'll call our moms to tell them we're fine. Everything will be fine.
Where did you get the money?
That's not a problem. We didn't have enough, so they're having me drive the boat. Can you imagine?
Excuse me, but you can't even swim.
Who cares? Just got to hold the wheel straight and we'll be in Italy. I can even speak Italian.
I can also say that.
Hurry up.
A clip from Io Capitano, which is up for an Oscar for Best Foreign Film. We're joined now for part 2 of our conversation with the film's award-winning director, Matteo Garrone, as well as Mamadou Kouassi, whose journey as an African migrant to Europe is the basis for Io Capitano. Welcome to you both. Back to Democracy Now! Matteo, if you could explain how it is that you approached Mamadou to help you structure this film and to have him be one of the characters on whom you base the film.
Well, I met Mamadou thanks to a journalist, friend of mine, that is, he works especially on immigration. And so she helped me to meet Mamadou, and immediately listening his story, I start to understand that there was the possibility to show to the world a part of the journey that we don't know. That's what we push to us. And it was also interesting that we could talk about a different type of migration, because we are used in Italy to think that when we saw the boat arriving with all these migrants, they always escape from war or from climate changing, desperate situation. And often it's like this, but also often, as we know, the population, the African population, for the 70% is young. So the globalization is arrived very strong also there, so they can watch our world from the social media. They can chat also here in New York with people here in New York or in Europe. So they can already live in our world, but at the same time they can't move, because we can go in holiday easily to their country, to Senegal, for instance. But if they want to come in this and move and go to discover the world, to look for a better life, they have to risk their life. They have to go in a journey that for most of them is a journey where they lose their life. So I think it was important also to show that there is an injustice, because there are young people that desire to move to discover the world exactly like us, like my son, like many, many young, but they can't, because there is this system that don't give to them the same possibility that gives to us.
I wanted to ask you about the filming in the desert. We're going to go to a clip right now of this utterly tragic moment of migrants packed into a truck that is driving, and someone falls out.
Someone fell. Stop. Stop.
I told you to hold on tight. Shut up.
Mamadou Kouassi, I wanted to ask you, as well as the director, Matteo, first, did this happen to you? And for the director, what it meant to film in the desert. But first, this disturbing shot of the man who was left in the desert to die.
It's true. That part that the boy fell down on the truck, it happened to me, really. Because we were running, we were in the car. He told us, whoever fell down, I'm not going to stop. And it's true. He did not stop. Who fell down, stay there, and he will die. Because in our car, when we were moving in the desert, the boy fell down, and I remember even the name that was sitting down beside us. The driver did not stop. He continued, he purchased driving, and after 2 hours, he said, I told you people, whoever fell down again, I will not stop. And you cannot do nothing. They have some gun. If somebody want to say something, he shoots you in the desert. There, they can kill you easy. So it's better to keep quiet, follow the instruction, and this is what we are facing in the desert. Many people, that's why sometimes, somehow they say, okay, everybody goes down, and they leave you, they run away with the car. So those people that are there, if who is able to walk, can walk. Otherwise, you die. So this is what happened to us on the desert most of the time.
And Matteo Garrone, if you can talk about the filming of not only this, but these epic shots of parade of humanity in the desert, and how you actually film this. And also the fact that you have said that, you know, this took you 8 years, and you really thought at a number of points you would not finish this. You had so many questions about what you were doing.
Well, the shooting, when I start to work on this project, as I said before, we work a lot on the documentation, and we immediately realized that on this coming of age story, the landscape was a protagonist, because makes feel so lonely, the protagonist, on this incredible space that is the desert, but is also the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. and also the part in Libya, that is also a moment very, very, very dramatic, where they are sold like, you know, like if they are like a slave. So it was important on this journey. Also, don't talk only about the violence that they submit, but also about the human solidarity. That is an important part in the movie. So there is dark, but there is also light, because they remain human. They in the moment of sufferance, they have incredible solidarity, humanity, and the main character remain human till the end. So I think it's a very important message that the movie brings. So that's why I believe it's very important, this movie also, to be screened for the young generation, because the main character have the same age of the student, and so they can immediately empathize with them. They can see this movie. This movie is very accessible because it's an adventure. It's the journey of a hero. It's a sort of how can I say, Homeric fairy tale. It's a contemporary odyssey. So the young can immediately empathize with them because they are the same. They have dreams. They want to become a singer. They want to discover the world. They have parents worried for them. So I think it's very important. In Italy, we screen the movie for a lot of school and students, and we hope that also here in the States, thanks to the Cohen Media Group that will be the distributor here, the 23rd of February will distribute the movie. I hope that the school also and the college here in the States will watch the movie because they are our future. So it's very important that they can see this tragedy from a different perspective. And this movie talks also about an archetype that is universal. Here in the States, you have with the Mexican or with the people that come from Venezuela or other parts of South America. So I think everybody can relate with this story. And also, we are in the States. So here, it's a country where in the past, everybody came for look for a better life. I'm Italian, so I come from a country of migrants. So everybody can relate with this story and with this character and see the journey from the point of view of Seydou. Live an emotional experience. I think that's cinema. Cinema brings you in another dimension, brings you in another world, and it's the world of the art and about it. And if you follow the story through the eyes of Seydou, you live an emotional experience.
So, Mamadou, I would like you, but also Matteo afterwards, to respond to the fact, I mean, given the horrific conditions that you show so beautifully in this film, and of course have also been documented by human rights organizations and covered some in the media, which is the conditions under which migrants are held in Libya, you know, often subjected to torture, told to get money in order to get them out, prevented from going, making the journey to Europe, which is the one that they, you know, desired to make, much like you did, Mamadou. You know, the fact that the EU is actually funding, assisting Libya in maintaining these immigration practices. Did you yourself, Mamadou, were you ever held in Libya, in a Libyan detention center, as you tried to make your way to Italy? And then your comments on the EU funding to Libya, despite these well-documented abuses.
Yeah, you know, this is a reality that Matteo described in the film Io Capitano. That is true. I can say that even some part has been removed because it was hard to let it arrive to the huge, for example, people of underage to see it. So it has been diminished the way we have been tortured even in the prison and the way we have been killed. And this one is true. It's a true fact that we passed through. And I say that I'm a lucky person because I spent 3 years in Libya. And these 3 years, I worked like a mason. Sometimes they catch you, they put you in the prison, they ask you to pay the money, they beat you, and they release you. It happened 4 times for me. That's why I was a lucky person. And to be a survivor, seeing many people dying in the same time, even on the, in the prison, at the same time in the Mediterranean Sea, because some of the time, as the captain was calling, there is no people to come to secure you. So these kind of things happen to us in the desert, in the Mediterranean Sea, and in the prison that in Libya, we have been used like, they are trading black people. Black people are using like goods to be traded in Libya. And it's happening for when I left till today. People are dying every day. And for us, I think the film Io Capitano has been giving another opportunity, another eye to the whole world to understand really what people are facing in these countries. It's not even in Libya, even in Tunis or Tunisia. People are facing the same situation. And for me, enough is enough. Enough is enough because this is should be a huge instrument for the whole world to understand that we Africans, to make our dream come through, we suffer a lot. And it cannot be continue like this. We need good policy. We need good answers from this film. And I hope that as we are doing, even in the school that Matteo said, I used to meet the students in Italy to explain them because they are curious. They want to really understand if we pass through this kind of thing before we come to Europe. And I used to explain to them. I met 300, 600 students by a day, and hoping that this film share in America, also they will send it to the school because it is important. The new generation has to understand, and from them we can build, for example, a better life for the new humanity, because people are losing the humanity. So it is important that this movie of Io Capitano has bring up for us to understand the reality that people are facing other part of the world, to change the mentality and also to change the policy and give chance for any kind of human being to be able to travel free. And this way we can check and we can control the migration. And I think this is the good, I can say, good issue to resolve the situation of migration, because putting laws against migrants, I don't think that this is the solution. But giving chance to people to travel can be controlled. Giving chance also is one of the chains to control the migration. We are dreamers. We Africans, we also is a concept that people have to understand, that any human being has the right also to dream. So I think this film is also talking about dream, it's also talking about human rights. So from here, I think we have to change our mentality to build together and bring back the human right for everywhere.
And Matteo Garrone, if you could also respond to that question, and in particular, the policies in Italy now, where, of course, Mamadou came when he arrived to Europe. Far-right Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who has said, quote, "I won't allow Italy to become Europe's refugee camp." Matteo.
Well, I think that the movie started 3 years and a half ago, when there was another government all left. So it's not a movie that we made for response, for answer to a government or another, because I think this is global. The problem is global, you know, and it's not only Italian, it's European, it's global, it's also American, it's France, in every part of the world there is this problem, this political that going on always on the direction of close, you know, instead of trying to block the visa and hope and give the possibility, the rights to move, you know, because it's talk, as Mamadou said, it's talk about human rights, about don't put this human being in the condition of lose their life for a right that should be of everybody. The right to move, you know, there is the freedom to move, and to move to a place to another. Why we can move easily and they have to die for move. So it's more about human rights, And that's why when the movie has been released in Italy, a week after that the movie was in theater, the Pope Francis, invite us in Vatican to screen the movie and to support the movie, because the Pope has been always from the side of the migrant. He always said that they are the contemporary hero, and he was, for him, it was important to support a movie that was from the side of them, you know. And so we are so, so we try to bring the word of the Pope, so to trying to give to them finally the possibility to have voice, because they don't have voice. So that's what we push. We push us to make this movie, to give voice to people that usually don't have voice, that are victim of a system of that. And our character, Seydou, is a fighter, is a capitano, is a captain that fight for life.
And let's go to Seydou, captaining that ship across the graveyard that is the Mediterranean as he leads scores of migrants, attempts to lead them to Italy.
But I'm telling you, I need help.
Okay, understood. I'm calling the Maltese Coast Guards. No answer. I also tried the Italian Coast Guards, but they said you were not in their territorial waters. They said I should keep calling the Maltese Guards.
I've been waiting for hours. You don't want to come?
I've been calling for hours too, but there's no answer. I'm really sorry.
Please, I'm scared. Someone's going to die.
Okay, I'll try again.
I know you don't want to come. You want to let us die here, in the middle of the sea. Okay, I'll take responsibility. I'll get them to Italy and no one will die. They'll all arrive safe and sound.
That's a clip from Io Capitano as Seydou, the star of the film, leads the ship to Italy, desperately calling for help. Yes, the Mediterranean graveyard. Last year, 3,000 people died in the Mediterranean. Over the last 10 years, it's about 30,000, almost 3,000 every year. This is our last clip, so I want to give you each a final comment. Mamadou, let's begin with you as you cross the Mediterranean, your thoughts at being, ultimately you felt just your ship was being, the people in it were being left to die by the Coast Guard.
Yeah, as you have already said, in these 10 years, more than 28,000 people died on the Mediterranean Sea. And it is true, Seydou, the captain, was calling on the phone to ask for assistance. Nobody is, even they answer you, they put time. Before the European Sea, there was the front X to rescue people, Mediterranean people to come to rescue people. Today, there are laws from Europe that is difficult. So this film of Io Capitano is opening the eye of Europe about the desert, about the prison in Libya, about people that are dying even in the Mediterranean Sea. To have a very acquaintance, knowledge about what is happening for this tragedy, so the whole European people could try to help people to save life in the Mediterranean Sea to avoid. Say, for example, the captain, you know, in Libya, you have been forced to drive, or you drive or they shoot you. So you have to choose, better driving or to be shot. So most of the time, and those people that are driving the boat have been taken like they are the human traffickant. No, we are not the human traffickant because we have been obliged by the Libyan people to drive the boat. So to save our life, we are obliged to drive the boat. And when you arrive in Europe and the police catch you, they take you like you are the human traffickant. No, it's the system that put us in the women to be like a human trafficker. So this film of Io Capitano has given the single details to the Europe to have an idea how to afford the migrations in Libya, in the Mediterranean Sea. And we think that the important is to have, for example, the front X in the Mediterranean Sea to save life. We cannot every year count that this year 3,000 people die in this year. Every year people are dying, and still every single day there are about 18 people are dying crossing the Mediterranean Sea. So I think, as I was saying, this is a huge instrument for the whole Europe, for the whole world to have an eyes to change the policy of migration, and there we can avoid people that are dying in number in the Mediterranean Sea, in the desert, and people that are being sold in Libya like slaves. We know that the slavery has been abolished for centuries years ago, but why today is happening in some ways again. So I think I want to thank Matteo Garrone that because it takes the courage together with the migrant to be able to expose this reality to the whole world. So there, I think here we can find the solution to overcome the problem of migration, because it's a complex problem all over the world. But we need solution, giving chance to people to travel easily. And I think this will be a great point to also control the migration all over the world. And for me, at the same time, the Mediterranean Sea, we need also rescue. We need to rescue people, human beings, because we cannot anytime count number of people dying in the Mediterranean Sea, because the Mediterranean Sea belongs not to Italy, but to the Europe. And most of the time people come to Italy, entering only by Italy, and they think this is the responsibility of the European Union.
And finally, Matteo, we have less than a minute. But in fact, so many of the people who were in this film, packed into the ship, going across the desert, in the prisons, were actually migrants. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had this privilege to work on this movie with them. So it's a movie that we have done together. For them was very important, finally, to tell to the world what they passed through. Because sometimes when they try to tell to the people, they are not believed. So we wanted to do this movie together. We have done together. And I would say that they were a sort of co-director of the movie. I mean, sometimes they help me to create the scene because they already lived that experience. So they help me to recreate that world with the simplicity and with truth and trying to be authentic. That was, we wanted to be authentic, and also I wanted to be invisible. I wanted the camera was invisible, so the audience can live the experience of this adventure, because it's an adventure, it's an epic adventure, without thinking that there is behind a construction, you know, a camera. That's what we try to do, and we hope the audience will appreciate our work.
We want to thank you both for being with us, and congratulations once again on this beautiful film. Matteo Garrone, director of Io Capitano, which is nominated for an Academy Award for Best International Feature Film. And Mamadou Kouassi, whose journey as an African migrant to Europe is the inspiration for the film. I'm Nermeen Sheikh with Amy Goodman. Thanks for joining us.